also is a medical diagnosis. It's not something you can be tested for, like a learning disability. Although kids with ADHD, their minds are wired a little bit different. There's no question about it. But it is a medical diagnosis, which extends out to making them eligible for an IEP. If the kid has a diagnosis and every teacher has to figure out what to do with that child every year, it's going to be detrimental in the long run. So kids with a medical diagnosis of ADHD qualify for an IEP, which is an individualized education plan, meaning all the accommodations that work for that student, and that's done through observation, trial and error, and so on, are written down in plan, and that plan follows the student throughout their educational career. So you don't have to keep reinventing the wheel with that student. So the way that IEPs work is that they qualify under what's called OHI, or other health impaired, and it's a category that it qualifies them for an individualized education plan. So those are all really good news for teachers and educators. However, parents really bristle at all of this because they don't understand it, and they think my child can do it. Yeah, well, they can. They're smart, but they cannot sustain the attention in order to do well in school. So it's really important to get them on an IEP. ADHD is the clinical diagnosis, ADD being a subtype. That's something that a lot of people don't understand. So when you get a diagnosis of ADHD, ADD is a subtype, meaning a student can have attention deficits, but not the hyperactivity component. Signs would be anytime a student cannot maintain, attention well within their developmental age. If they cannot, if they cannot do well in school despite their intelligence, and that's another thing about ADHD is that the students that have it tend to have a higher intelligence than other students. Here you have this student who is quite smart, developmentally able to do schoolwork, but can't attain his attention for very long. So it becomes very frustrating because they can do it. And the truth is that oftentimes a student with ADHD can often attempt and accomplish a task or a goal, but then cannot reproduce that effort. So you think, oh, they're lazy, they can do it. This is a common way of thinking, and the truth is, they may be able to be successful, but they have no idea how they did it. It was just one of those things that the planets aligned and they were able to accomplish the task. Kids with ADHD need help, need a lot of help. And unfortunately, the strategies to deal with ADHD are as diverse as the kids that you teach. What works with one kid may not work with the other, so you have to, through trial and error, try what works for that particular student. Now, once that student gets past second grade and you don't see any sign of things improving for their development to catch up with their attention span, or vice versa, then it's severely affecting having the educational impact, then it's a tough subject to bring up with some parents, but it's a quality of life issue after a while, and it's important to have some kind of evaluation done. And what I always tell parents is that it's not, it doesn't necessarily mean that this child has to be on medication. It's just like, let's eliminate this as a possibility. So that's usually the way I approach it. Parents can understand that. If this is an issue, then let's deal with it. But if it's not, let's get it off the table.
I know that it's a disease that it basically doesn't let you focus on anything, and you just kind of think about one thing and then just get distracted really easily, and it doesn't help too well with your studies and stuff because you get really distracted and you can't really think and focus on doing your homework and doing projects.
Is that what happens to you?
It used to happen to me all the time, yes, but I've learned to kind of control it, so I'm able to focus a lot if I just like sit down and buckle down on it. Well, just kind of, you're sitting there trying to focus on one thing, and then something will come along or something will pop up into your head like a thought or an idea, and you'll just go on this huge tangent and start thinking about that one thing. So as opposed to trying to figure out a math problem, you're sitting there trying to figure out world peace. Or, if you're sitting there listening to music while trying to do homework, you start thinking about the music instead and just start paying attention more to the music. Or if the TV is on in the background, you start watching TV over doing what you're supposed to be doing and doing the project at hand. It was on Ritalin and Adderall.
Did it work?
The Ritalin, not really. The Adderall definitely did. Some more than others, for sure. I think my psychiatrist helped me a lot more than teachers did, but there were definitely some teachers that helped more than others. Took their time to help me, and they actually cared about what I was going through and what I needed, and they actually took the time out of their day to help me actually buckle down and pay attention and get things done. If you have a student with ADD or ADHD, just take the time to just kind of realize that they have it, and don't lose patience with them. Just sit down and just talk to them. Just help them get through what they need to get through.
Are you distracted by this because it's shiny? Shiny.
No.
Well, you're not very fun.
I'm sorry.
How about now?
Still no.
Okay.